And at her final summer press conference today, German Chancellor Angela Merkel called for more action to slow climate change. Merkel is leaving office after national elections this coming September. Here is part of what she said today.
It's not as though we didn't do anything. But looking at the goal of keeping global warming well under 2 degrees, we did not do enough. That's not only true for Germany, it's the case for many countries around the world. And that's why we need to speed up our efforts.
All right, I want to pull in our political correspondent, Simon Young. Good evening to you, Simon. The Chancellor spoke about climate change in connection with the floods, but she's been in power for 16 years. Did she acknowledge personal failings in the preparation to deal with climate change?
Well, I think what you heard there, Brent, was as close really as she came, acknowledging that Germany, like other countries, has not done enough. She's been running Germany for the last 16 years, so that is close to an acknowledgement of responsibility. I thought it was interesting. She was also asked later on in the conference about if there was any decision on the climate that she regretted or would have done differently. She said, well, she's been motivated by the climate change issue all through her political career. She said back to when she was Environment Minister in the 1990s. But if there was one thing she would have done differently, perhaps it was that she believed in the Kyoto process too much. And she said probably it would have been better to move to the voluntary commitments principle that's behind the Paris Climate Accord. That could have happened more quickly, she said. So she's looking back and saying, well, you know, the climate, it's a real problem and more needs to be done more quickly.
Yeah, she also used this opportunity to make an urgent appeal to the German population. Let's take a listen to what she said.
I say to everyone who's still unsure, a vaccine doesn't only protect you, but also those close to you, those who you care about, those you're connected to, those who you love. A vaccine doesn't only protect against severe illness, but also against the restrictions that we now live under. This means that the more people who get vaccinated, the freer we will be, not only as individuals, but also as a society.
Nicht nur als Einzelne, sondern eben auch als Gemeinschaft.
Yes, I mean, so we've got an appeal there from the Chancellor. People, please get vaccinated. It's not the first such appeal that she has made in her 16 years in power. How did it strike you?
Well, indeed, and she sometimes does use these press conferences to make appeals directly to the public. There was the famous Wir schaffen das, we can do this, back in 2015, which was about migration and the large numbers coming to Germany back then. So she was sending that message to the German public. But I think this press conference was mainly a legacy press conference, if you like, looking back at her record, looking at all the challenges. The climate, of course, is one we've mentioned, but also the financial crisis, the pandemic, migration, and, of course, also all the changes in Germany following on from German reunification. All of that has been part of her time, and she was thinking about all these subjects today. She said one of those Merkelian sentences, you know, politics has to deal with the problems in front of it. And you really do get the impression from Angela Merkel when she talks that she does believe any problem can ultimately be solved.
I mean, this was her last summer press conference. Did you get the feeling that she is ready to bid farewell to politics in a few months? I mean, the time is almost over.
Well, if she is keen to leave, she certainly wasn't letting on, nor did she reveal what she plans to do after she's left office. You know, Angela Merkel seems to really still enjoy the job of being a politician. She talks about all the issues she's dealing with now, Corona, the pandemic, and also, of course, the floods crisis, and so many other things. She talks in this scientific, objective sort of way. We know that that about her. But she today was saying, you know, meeting the press, I really enjoy it. I'm keen to know what people are going to ask me. She's curious. She seems not to have lost her passion for politics. And of course, you know, that's something that I think people have warmed to as they've watched her grow, I think, over the 16 years that she's been in office.
Yeah, to maintain that passion, not every politician can say that, that is for sure. Simon Young in Berlin. Simon, as always, thank you.